Hey everyone, I'm Joe and today I'm going to be doing my April 2017 book haul. Now after my London trip in March, which I did a video about, which I'll link in the description box below, the idea was to not buy any more books. But well, I'm making this video and you're now watching it. So that didn't exactly work out the way I intended. I ended up buying quite a few books for a very low price though, so at least I've got that to sort of console me in my accidental / purposeful book buying. But whatever, I've got books. I like buying books. I don't feel any guilt or anything like that, so I'm happy. The first 4 books are unrelated single novels, and the first of which is The Goblin Emperor by Katherine Addison. Now, I have to blame and thank Rachel for getting me interested in this initially, well over a year ago now. She did a really interesting review of this, I believe, or at least she mentioned it in a wrap-up, and she sounded really enthusiastic about it and made it sound really interesting, and afterward several other people talked about it afterward in the next few months and made it sound really interesting, so I've been wanting to read this for quite some time now. I don't know much about the plot particularly. I know it features a half-goblin character. It is obviously a fantasy book. It is well thought of. Generally, obviously, there's always mixed reactions to books. And it is I think it might be a sort of partial epic fantasy. It's fairly epic, but not like Tolkien type. So, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I mean, it's been a long time since I watched anybody talk about it. But I know it does sound really interesting when I initially added it to my to-read list, and indeed I'll be reading it hopefully fairly soon. The next book is Dandelion Wine by Bradbury. Now, I bought this because, quite simply, I really like Bradbury. I think he's an amazing author, and essentially I want to go through and read pretty much everything he's ever written. And this, Dandelion Wine, is one of his more well-known books. This is not science fiction or fantasy. This is just classed as fiction as far as I'm aware. This is set in the small town called Greentown in America, which is a fictional town. 3 of his other books are set in this as well, which includes Something Wicked This Way Comes, which is a horror. Each book though has only got this town in common though. They're totally unrelated as far as plot or anything else goes. This is a coming of age story about a young boy, sort of, going from being a small boy to a sort of teenager and therefore a man. And it sounds pretty interesting to me. I mean, it's a little bit different because it's fiction. It's not science fiction or fantasy. So I'm quite interested to get to this. His third book is Nod by Adrian Barnes. Now the reason I picked this book up is I'm going to have to blame and thank a certain Mr. James Chatham for this. He's a fellow booktuber whose channel I will link below as well. This book was on his favourite books of 2016 list, which he did a video about, and he made it sound really, really interesting. The basic premise of it is that one day everybody on Earth can suddenly no longer get to sleep again for some unknown reason. Obviously there is presumably a sinister reason for it, which I can't remember exactly now what he said. And obviously going without sleep is obviously a form of torture, because it's psychological as well as physical. We need sleep. So this is a very sort of creepy, uneasy book that I know of, and it does sound really quite interesting, and I'm quite eager to read it. And also I like the cover. It's simple but really quite effective, I think. And finally, the last single book is Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I think that's how I pronounce his name. It's slightly tricky. This won the Arthur C. Clarke Award last year in 2016, and indeed, as you know, I'm doing a science fiction and fantasy award-winning book project, so I will be reading this at some point this year. I don't know when exactly, but it will be read. It's a somewhat thicker book than the other 3. Or maybe it's not that thick though. I mean, it's only it's not even 600 pages, so it won't take that long. It sounds quite an interesting one. I've heard very mixed reactions to it, however. Some people think it sounds really good. Some people do not like this. I know this is to do with the sort of last remnants of humanity. The Earth is dead or near death, and we've spread out and things happen. I don't really know too much, frankly, but I'm buying it because of the award-winning status of it, frankly, and a few people I know have read it and enjoyed it, so it should be interesting to see what I make of it. So next up are 3 author sets of books. Now, I bought these from a website called The Book People. This is a UK-based website. Their speciality, and the thing that they are very well known for, is doing author collections. This is basically a collection of books by various different individual authors, and it's basically to try and sort of get you into certain authors for a very low price. And obviously, therefore, if you get into the author, then obviously you'll then buy more books by that author, hopefully from them, frankly. And I've made use of this app several times in the past, and indeed I've made use of it again because I bought some pretty interesting ones, and these are a little bit more risky as such because these are very different from what I normally read, as you'll soon see. And the first set is a set of 5 books by Bernard Cornwell. Yep, a bit unusual because Bernard Cornwell normally writes historical fiction. These, however, are classed as his thriller collection. They are Wildtrack, Sea Lord, Crackdown, Stormchild, and Scoundrel. Now, you probably didn't see the covers because I did go through them rather quickly, but all 5 books, as well as being thrillers, they all have a link to the ocean, all based around ships, or the ocean, or rivers, or some such. They sound a bit different. I've been wanting to read something by Cornwell for a while, and obviously Bernard Cornwell is probably most well known for a very well known book, which is obviously Sharp, which they made a TV series of years ago with Sean Bean in it. And I wanted to try something a bit different by him first, and these were a really good collection. These were £8 for 5. You know, so basically you're paying the price of 1 book for 5. Yeah. Next up is Laurie R. King, and this is the Mary Russell and Sherlock Holmes series. This starts off with the Beekeeper's Apprentice, then Monstrous Regiment of Women, and finally A Letter of Mary. These are books 1, 2 and 3, and I could just point out that I absolutely love the covers of these books. I think they look absolutely amazing, you know, but with the sort of slightly indented picture that's not directly around the sides. All I know about these books is that a young woman called Mary Russell one day bumps into a retired Sherlock Holmes who is in the park. Sherlock Holmes has gone away from crime and now he's taken up his hobby of beekeeping, hence the style of the first book, and they essentially sort of get on and really like each other, they realise, and they end up solving crimes again, essentially. They sound really, really good. I know Rachel liked these, and indeed that's who I have to blame and thank for them. And yeah, I'm quite eager to get around to these. And finally, the last books are Dorothy L. Sayers and the Lord Peter Wimsey novels. These are Whose Body, which is book 1, The Unpleasantness at the Bellona Club, which is book 5, I believe, and Striding Folly, which is the 15th and final book in this series. This is obviously to get you a good sort of idea and range of what she writes. So if I like the first book, then I've got lots more to get hold of and read. These are indeed sort of mystery crime books. I have to blame Rachel again for these because she again made these sound really interesting. She's been reading through the series herself over the last 6 months or so, or maybe longer than that, and it's got me quite curious about them, so I'm quite eager to get around to these, I really am, and they do sound, you know, a bit different, but really good to me. So with that said, that's it for this video. If you've read any of these books or would like to, then please leave a comment and we can have a discussion. Any book suggestions based on any of these as well, I'm always open for, because frankly I always like getting into new authors and new books myself. And with that said, that is it for this video. Oh, and all my social media links as well as things I talked about will be linked in the description box below as well. So, thank you for watching and I'll see you another day. Bye for now.